am thankful and blessed that I'm among women who rise and roar.
Yes! Yes! Today we rise and today we roar because we want protections for women working in low wages industries, domestic workers. Everyone who has a job, every woman should be protected and should have an equal pay. Hoy marchamos porque queremos protección para las mujeres que están trabajando en las industrias que ofrecen salarios bajos, para trabajadoras domésticas y muchas más.
We are working with the Women's March Alliance, which is one of the partnering organizations working on this event today.
And we are so proud and honored to be here supporting women in all aspects and phases of their lives, and just coming together to march in support for women's equality, same pay, right,
reproductive rights and equal pay for women. We think that it's very important that women across the entire city and the nation organize and come out so that we can advocate for our rights, for the rights of our children, of our daughters, and also to give an example and to show that women have power.
And we can come together.
Yes, to protect women's rights and advocate for dignity for all women.
We're so excited to be here. We're at the Women's March today, making sure that every woman has a seat at the table. I'm here on behalf of Comptroller Scott Stringer, I'm the Chief Diversity Officer for the City of New York. And for all of you who are watching, come out in March. This is our year. El Día de la Mujer es hoy y siempre. Gracias.
I'm not only here as controller, I'm actually here as a parent of 2 young children. And my job as a parent is to teach my little boys that they have to respect little girls. My job as a parent is to make sure that when they're young men, they respect young women. And when they become adult men, they have to respect and work for adult women. And that's why today is so important. But as controller, I watch the money. And the way we watch the money is to recognize that not all people are equal in our city. And we have to do more to invest in women and minority-owned businesses. But don't listen to me about that. Listen to the woman who is the first Chief Diversity Officer in the Controller's office. Someone from Washington Heights, where I grew up. Someone who is working to make sure that equality is not just a buzzword, but a real economic engine. That is what it's all about. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor this morning to introduce to you Wendy GARCIA. Now give it up, Wendy GARCIA.
Today we rise.
Today we rise.
Today we rise.
Today we rise.
And we need men like Scott Stringer rising for women across New York City. Today we rise.
Today we rise.
My name is Wendy GARCIA, and as the controller said, we work together every day to ask the hard questions. Are women sitting at the table? And today, I have one question for all of you. How are you lending yourself to innovations to make sure that we're helping mark the future of the women to come? This year, we all have that opportunity to change the story that we tell our daughters. We must do this with honor, with history, and more importantly, we must do it with absolute love. We will change the fairy tales that we tell our daughters and our sons. It will no longer be that the princess needed saving from the prince to get into her kingdom. But that the two have worked together to create a kingdom where every little boy and every single little girl has access to the kingdom's throne.
The focus of this rally and march is the rise and roar of women in their respective space of advocacy. They're on the front lines fighting the good fight on our behalf. The focus is unity. This march is about amplifying and uniting women from all walks of life and experiences. This march is about creating a sustainable sisterhood.
the Women's March New York City 2020. My name is Diane Morales. I am a candidate for New York City Mayor 2021, and I am thrilled to be here to support the movement and the voice of women who need to be lifted up and really taken care of in this society. I really believe that in order for us to achieve our best potential, we have to do better by women, and so that's why I'm here today.
But it has been said that our most significant opportunities can be found in times of greatest difficulty. Yes. And as Eleanor Roosevelt once said, a woman is like a tea bag. You don't know how strong she is until you put her in hot water. Yeah. For all the disparities and inequities between us, what we know to be true is that women are the ones who create bonds that keep our families together. Women are the educators. Women are the healers. Women are the ones that serve our city's most vulnerable and make this city run. And most importantly, women are mothers, and there is no harder job than that. So when all women do better, we all do better. It's time for us to get what we deserve. We need to put women first and meet the needs of all women. We must disrupt the status quo and refuse to accept the norms of poverty and inequality. We must build one movement for all of us, because when we build a movement, everyone counts. Because time will not change things, we will. I have found my roar and my big act for the day. It's time for you all to find yours.
Hi, so I'm Ann Toback. I'm the CEO of the Workers' Circle. We're a Jewish social justice organization, and we're here today to roar for equality for all. We're roaring against hate and bigotry that's directed at everyone, because we know that this horrible increase in anti-Semitism, in racism, in anti-immigrant and refugee and Islamophobia is directed at all of us. And the way to stop it is to stand together. And that's what we're doing today. We're standing together, we're standing strong, we're saying we're taking back our country for people who want equality for all.
We are united. Get that, the bully in Washington. We are united. All women, Muslim, Jewish, white, black, Latina, Asian, we are together. Trans also, LGBTQ, we are one. We're gonna fight for our wages. We're gonna fight for our housing and the night shift tenants also.
Hi, my name is Erica Vladimir. I am a Democratic congressional candidate for New York's 12th District, and I am here to speak and support the Women's March Alliance to stand up and roar against gender-based violence. For far too long, there have been so many people who are in the shadows, who are carrying their trauma themselves, and I'm here to tell them that they are not alone, and that when we bring our voices together, we can make the noise and demand the seat at the head of the table that we deserve, and to center our voices. And that's what I plan to do and call for here today, and to also do in Congress, and make sure that our voices as survivors are centered.
Now is the time to strengthen our determination and to be out into these streets and to link arms and get shoulder to shoulder in the struggle to drive them out. Look, this impeachment thing is a very positive thing that's happening because it shows that there are major divides and cracks at the top of society going on right now. But if we don't recognize that this is a huge opening for the people to be like a huge wedge to break that open, now is the time to take inspiration from what they're doing all over the world, in Puerto Rico, and in Hong Kong, and in Chile, and in Lebanon, and in every other country. Look at how many hundreds and how many thousands of us are pouring out into the streets today. Let this strengthen our determination to not just come out one day or for a few protests each year, but to be out into the streets every single day under a unified demand that Trump and Pence must go now. Trump, Pence, out now. Say it with me. Trump, Pence, out now. Trump, Pence, out now.
Hello, New York. Hello, women. Hello, girls. Thank you for coming out today on a cold Saturday morning to support me, all the individuals speaking today, and thank you for choosing to invest in women and girls. Applaud yourselves. I should probably introduce myself. My name is Marley and I'm 15 years old. And my frustration with the school system led me to start the 1,000 Black Girl Books campaign. And today I have collected over 12,000 books where Black girls are the main characters and donated them internationally. Thank you. My disgust with the racism and sexism in children's literature led me to write my own book, which you can see a girl is holding up right over there in my book, which aims to help kids like me become the activists of today and the healthy adults of the future. As amazing and inspirational as my story may be, it is not exceptional. We can see inspirational girls all around us if we look carefully. We need adults like you all to open their eyes and remove the glasses that are fogged by their own bigotry. Girls have the potential to make right what so many of you adults have made wrong in the world. That is evidenced by powerful girls around us today. Girls like Haley Thomas, Marcy Martin, Greta Thunberg, and Yara Shahidi. Girls like myself are forces for change, not just because we are special, but rather because of our families. The first institution in our lives invested and continues to invest in us. Ultimately, all the major social issues in the world that matter to us, whether it's racial inequality or global warming, all these things are personal. They impact the planet, but they impact us in our everyday lives. If we care about them, we can make a pledge to do something about them. Let's also pledge to rise and roar on behalf of women and girls. Thank you.
When I say Black lives, y'all say matter. Black lives. Matter. Black lives. Matter. When I say Black lives, y'all say matter. Black lives. Matter. Black lives. Matter. My name is Shavonna Newsom, and I'm the co-founder of Black Lives Matter, Greater New York. And I'm a candidate. And I'm also a candidate for Congress in New York 15. I stand before you to roar against systemic oppression. This country was founded on white supremacy and patriarchy. Black women, we have been oppressed for 400 years, and I roar against that. My name is LaCrea Ortiz, and I've risen today to roar like a lion. Let me hear you roar! I'm talking to you today about women in leadership. You see, when women lead,
naturally because the world has given us a gift, the gift of adversity. You see, adversity is the cousin to success. Adversity enables us to wear many hats, so many hats that we leave men baffling by our multitasking. Adversity is the seed that sprouts to give us courage to take on those who dare defy and say that we don't belong. Adversity gives us the tools to shatter ceilings, break floors, rebuild structures. You see, leadership today calls for us to rewrite the rules of engagement. Women are not only the future, we are the past, the present, and we are now. We are now. We are now. We are now. Thank you.
I'm Roma TORRE, and I just want to say I'm very proud and privileged to take part in this 4th annual Women's March. We need a voice in this country, and it is so unfortunate that we've been drowned out year after year after year, and it is time that we stood up for ourselves and said, we matter, we count. And so I invite everybody to join us, and I really wish we could change the game for good.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank the organization of the Women's March for inviting us to this wonderful gathering, and all of you for coming out today on this very, very cold January day. Mother Nature is testing us, but we are strong and we are hot, ladies. Our co-plaintiff, colleague and friend Vivian Lee could not be with us because she is working today, but she is here in spirit. We are newswomen, and here is the news of the day. We are fighting for our careers in much the same way many of you may and will have to fight for your careers when you reach a certain age. Now, about this time last year, the New York 1-5, as we have been referred to, started to realize that despite our repeated questions and complaints about our treatment at work, management had no intention of making things better for us. In fact, they made it worse. It became obvious they wanted us to quit. But we are not going quietly into the night. We were marginalized in all different ways and ultimately made to feel unwelcome in the very newsroom where we had built respected careers collectively for more than 100 years. Like middle school bullies, they denigrated us, they told lies behind our backs and reduced our airtime, all while passing us over for promotions, pushing us to the side in favor of younger women and men. And they are still doing it today. It is classic, systemic age and gender discrimination, and it is illegal. It is illegal. It's against the law. It happened to my mother when she was a reporter, and it is time the cycle stops. I will not have it happen to my daughter, who is here today. We are fighting for pay equity. I was the first reporter hired by New York 1 28 years ago. I am a multiple Emmy winner who was just inducted into the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. And I make less than half of what my male counterpart makes. I am fully aware, if I was a woman of color, the disparity might be even greater. And now I introduce my sister warrior, Kristen Shaughnessy.
We know that age discrimination happens in all industries, to men and to women. It's an open secret. Most people are afraid to reveal because they're fearful of retaliation, they are fearful of losing their job, they are fearful of not being able to find another job. So people stay silent, and the cycle continues. So here's the thing, if you see what's happening and you don't call it out, or if you're scared and you don't, just acknowledge it. Acknowledge that it's happening, and then you do not become part of the problem. But let me be clear, if you participate in retaliation when someone calls it out, and we have all witnessed this, you are a huge part of the problem. So we called it out. We had everything on the line, our livelihoods, our careers. The 5 of us have kids who range in age from 2 to 26 years old,
We have mortgages, we have daycare costs, we have college tuitions. But we also have one of the best platforms to speak out. So we risked everything, we're telling the truth. We researched for journalists. We got the best labor lawyers in the country, and we decided to fight because it is time we all change the game.
Our lawsuit, filed by 5 strong, accomplished veteran newswomen who have been victims of age and gender discrimination, sent shockwaves through the TV industry. You may have seen some of the coverage. We ended up in the New York Times, we ended up on the front cover of the New York Post. We blew open for what for decades has remained an unspoken secret within this industry, exposing it for all the world to see. Discrimination is so blatant that once you see it, you can't unsee it. We knew that it wouldn't be easy, and it hasn't been. Some colleagues refuse to acknowledge our presence when we walk around the newsroom. This is our everyday circumstances. Over the last 7 months, we have seen acts of incredible bravery by both men and women, many of them younger, who have been willing to stand by us and stick up for us and fight for us. Thank you. We have also seen acts, people who have no legal safety net. They're doing it because they believe that we are telling the truth, and that's what we need. We have also seen acts of absolute cowardice. People have benefited from our marginalization and stayed silent, or worse, told people that we were lying. We have colleagues who only acknowledge us when the camera lights go on. Our fight is for all women. No one gets younger. And if there's one enemy here, it is the systemic discriminatory treatment towards women, and it needs to stop here. Thank you.
One final word for all of you, and it comes from Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed women can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Thank you.
We are here today to demand that we stop violence against women, violence from the state and violence from individuals, because it's very important. We are also here in solidarity with women of Latin America and around the world who have been protesting in the last months against feminicides. I think we need to put a stop to the killing of women, we need to put a stop to misogyny, and we need to understand that women hold half of the world. There's no planet without women. So I'm happy to be here.